You called me Barren. Emily Johnson's voice echoed in the grand auditorium, sharp enough to slice through the chatter, and every eye in the room locked on her as the spotlight cut a pale line across the polished wooden stage. The hum of the audience fading like a distant storm, Mark Henderson's confident smile faltering as he realized all cameras, phones, and streaming feeds were capturing every detail. The glittering chandelier throwing fragments of light across the rows of stunned faces. Emily's heels clicked softly but steadily, a measured rhythm that matched her heartbeat. She held the twin boys' hands behind her back, each boy peeking from behind her with wide, steady eyes that reflected the same intensity. Her chest rose and fell as she inhaled, the hum of whispers building tension, a soft swell of strings from the live band barely audible under the weight of the moment. The crowd's collective breath held as she stepped forward, her posture unyielding, every fold of her tailored dress swaying with each precise step. The boys emerging slowly, holding a single, thick envelope between them marked DNA results in bold letters. The audience gasping in unison as Mark's gaze locked on the envelope, his jaw tight, hands twitching at his sides. The entire hall seemed suspended in time, flashes from phones mimicking tiny lightning strikes, cameras capturing Emily's calm expression as she allowed the moment to speak for itself. No words escaped her lips, the boys' steps. Deliberate, the rustle of their small shoes against the wooden floor echoing through the otherwise silent space. Emily's eyes flicked to Mark's, unblinking, conveying centuries of strength and the quiet power of truth. The spotlight highlighted her face, pale and determined, the twins' little hands trembling just slightly as they presented the envelope forward, a gesture that carried more weight than any speech could. The sound of murmurs rippled through the audience. The host's voice caught in his throat, unable to continue. The enormity of the revelation pressing against the air, Emily's shoulders squared, her chin lifted. She did not flinch. The light spilling across the stage accentuated every contour of her calm determination. The boys' faces mirrored hers in quiet resolve, the tension rising like the drawn bow of an arrow. Mark's eyes darting between Emily and the envelope, the first click of a camera shutter punctuating the silence. The room's ambient sounds fading, hearts pounding collectively. The live broadcast carrying the spectacle to thousands more viewers beyond the auditorium walls. Emily's lips curved into a faint, confident smile, a single breath released as if to signify both endurance and authority. The boys standing tall, the envelope's edges catching light, a tangible proof of the reality he denied. Mark's hand reached forward instinctively but stopped midair, frozen by the gravity of the moment. The audience leaning forward in unison, whispering and gasping, the soft rustle of paper as the boys adjusted their grip amplified in the stillness. Emily's calm resolve radiated outward, drawing every gaze to her and the children, as though the stage itself had become a silent witness to the unveiling of truth. The music swelled softly in the background, a single cello note resonating under the tension, Emily's eyes never leaving Mark's, the envelope trembling ever so slightly in the boy's grasp, a living testament to the power of patience, resilience, and undeniable truth. And as she waited, the auditorium seemed to hold its collective breath, leaving the next move. His reaction, the ultimate reckoning, suspended, a cliffhanger that promised the story was far from over. The auditorium remained suspended in the moment, every eye on Emily Johnson and the twin boys as they stood silently, the soft gleam of the overhead lights catching the edges of the DNA envelope and illuminating their small, determined faces. Mark Henderson slowly stepped forward, his polished shoes making a subtle scrape against the gleaming wooden floor, his hands slightly shaking as he reached toward the envelope without touching it, the weight of reality pressing down with every heartbeat. He exhaled sharply, trying to regain composure, yet the sound barely carried above the quiet rustle of the boys adjusting their grip. Emily held her posture perfect, shoulders squared, spine straight, radiating confidence that demanded recognition. A hush fell over the audience as the first whisper of realization spread, the camera pans capturing the full breadth of Mark's changing expression from disbelief to a dawning understanding. Every facial micro-expression magnified in the live feed. The twins' eyes followed their mother's, glancing toward Mark with innocence and silent authority. A slow smile formed on Emily's lips, restrained but full of quiet triumph. She took a measured step back, allowing the boys to take center stage. The envelope still held firmly in their hands. The audience leaned forward in collective anticipation, the sound of whispered commentary rising like a wave, the stage lights reflecting off Mark's tense features, his eyes darting between Emily and the boys, a trembling pause in his voice as he attempted to speak. The words caught somewhere between shock and acknowledgement. The room charged with emotion, the live feed broadcasting the raw impact to viewers beyond the auditorium. The hum of cameras and flashes punctuating the tension. The boys stepped forward slowly, their small hands presenting the envelope deliberately. Mark's breath hitched, his pulse quickening. The first audible gasp broke through the stillness, the audience responding in waves of murmurs and exclamations. Emily remained silent, letting the gravity of the moment unfold unspoken, the twins' presence a living, breathing testament to the truth he had denied for so long. The weight of his misjudgment pressing on him visibly, the soft creak of floorboards as he moved closer under the spotlight accentuated every careful step. The music that had been gentle and unassuming now rose with a subtle, dramatic swell, enhancing the tension without overpowering the natural sounds of the moment. Mark's hands finally hovered over the envelope, the room holding its collective breath as he considered the undeniable proof. Emily's calm gaze never leaving him, her lips curving into a faint, knowing smile. The boys standing unwavering, their small forms illuminated like twin beacons of justice and patience, every camera capturing the emotional truth, the audience responding with quiet awe and uncontained gasps. Mark's eyes widened further, realization and deep regret washing over his features, the soft light casting shadows that exaggerated the depth of the moment. The twins took a synchronized, deliberate step forward, reinforcing their silent testimony. Emily exhaled gently, a sound barely audible, but full of satisfaction and quiet authority. The camera panning across the faces in the audience, each reflecting a spectrum of shock, empathy, and admiration. Mark's voice finally broke, low and uncertain, as he tried to reconcile years of denial with the present truth. The twins' eyes met his, unwavering, holding him accountable without a single word. Emily's expression serene and composed, the soft glow of the spotlight tracing her silhouette. The stage seemed to stretch with the significance of the moment, and as the scene lingered, the final impact of the revelation held, unresolved yet complete in emotional weight, leaving every viewer aware that the story was far from over and the resolution of hearts, conscience, and relationships would unfold beyond the moment. The tension lingered in the air as the twins, still holding the DNA envelope, glanced at their mother, their small hands firm and steady, reflecting a quiet certainty that filled the stage. Mark Henderson stood rooted, the weight of realization pressing heavily on him, his breath shallow, the audience leaning in, capturing every subtle movement, every flicker of emotion. Emily Johnson shifted slightly, her posture unwavering, shoulders squared, exuding calm authority. The soft hum of cameras and whispers from the crowd enveloped the hall like a gentle wave, the lights overhead casting a warm glow on the trio, highlighting the innocence of the children and the resolute strength of their mother. Mark took a cautious step closer, his polished shoes making a soft scrape against the wooden floor, the subtle sound punctuating the heavy silence. His eyes locked on the envelope, his mind racing to reconcile years of disbelief with the undeniable proof in front of him. The twins mirrored their mother's composed gaze, their presence a silent assertion of the truth that could not be denied. Emily's lips curved in a faint, knowing smile, a mixture of patience and triumph, her chest rising and falling with controlled breaths, the soft swell of background music enhancing the emotion. The audience collectively held their breath, sensing the shift in energy. Mark's hand hovered over the envelope, hesitating, a fleeting tremor betraying his internal struggle. The subtle sound of paper shifting as the boys adjusted their grip echoed through the hall, every camera capturing the intricate details of the scene. The soft clatter of footsteps as assistants moved discreetly in the background adding depth to the ambient tension. Emily remained motionless, her silence speaking volumes, allowing the truth to unfold through actions rather than words. The twins took a synchronized step forward, reinforcing the undeniable proof of their parentage. The audience murmured, gasps rising like ripples across water. Mark's eyes widened, emotions flickering from shock to a deep, reflective regret. The overhead lights accentuating the contours of his face, highlighting the stark contrast between the composed strength of Emily and the raw vulnerability now visible in him. The soft click of camera shutters punctuated the stillness, capturing the moment for the live broadcast and for the many viewers witnessing the scene unfold from home. Emily's gaze remained steady, her presence a beacon of control and dignity. The twins' small forms illuminated beside her, a visual testament to patience, endurance, and truth. Mark's voice finally broke, quiet and uncertain, as he attempted to articulate the weight of realization, the words catching and faltering in the charged atmosphere. Emily's expression serene, eyes locked on his, radiating calm and authority. The soft rustle of the envelope in the boy's hands punctuated the tension, the stage stretching into a tableau of undeniable proof. The audience leaning forward, completely absorbed, the subtle swell of the music guiding the emotional undercurrent, every breath, every glance, every subtle motion magnified in the live feed, the twins' presence unwavering, their small eyes meeting Mark's, holding him accountable. In a silent, powerful testament, Emily's lips parted slightly in a controlled exhale, signaling both release and quiet triumph, the light catching their faces in a perfect frame, the auditorium itself feeling like a witness to the unassailable truth. And as Mark finally extended a tentative hand toward the envelope, the soft click of his own heart echoing in the charged silence, the story remained suspended, every viewer aware that the resolution of conscience, reconciliation, and the acknowledgement of years of truth was unfolding, the final proof resting not just in documents but in the steady, unspoken power of presence, patience, and undeniable reality, leaving a sense of anticipation, reflection, and emotional weight hanging in the air, a promise that the story was only beginning to reveal its full depth. Mark Henderson's hand hovered inches above the envelope, hesitation and disbelief warring across his features, the ambient light from the chandeliers casting a soft glow that accentuated every micro-expression. The twins standing firmly by their mother, their small shoulders squared and faces composed, Emily Johnson's presence commanding the stage with calm authority. The hush of the audience enveloping the auditorium like a gentle wave, the soft murmur of whispers punctuated by the distant click of camera shutters capturing each moment for the live broadcast, the subtle swell of background music rising to match the tension without overpowering the natural sounds. Mark finally lowered his hand and took a slow, deliberate breath, the realization settling over him like a tangible weight. The audience leaning forward, every eye fixed on the scene, absorbing the undeniable truth displayed before them. Emily allowed a faint, confident smile to grace her lips, her chest rising and falling in measured rhythm, radiating both relief and quiet triumph. The twins shifted slightly, each step synchronized, reinforcing the presence and certainty of their reality. Mark's expression softened, a mixture of awe and deep reflection washing over his features, the auditorium lights catching the subtle gleam in his eyes, highlighting the transformation from disbelief to recognition. Emily's gaze remained steady, her calm and measured posture communicating authority without a word, the audience responding with a collective gasp and subtle applause, the atmosphere charged with emotion as every individual in the hall registered the profound shift in energy. The twins held the envelope with unwavering resolve, a visual testament to the truth that had been hidden for years. Mark took another tentative step forward, his polished shoes softly scraping the gleaming wooden floor, the sound echoing faintly through the silent space, his hands finally closing over the envelope, the weight of the proof grounding him in the reality he had long denied. Emily's eyes never left his, silently affirming her triumph and the victory of patience, resilience, and undeniable reality, the background music rising to a gentle crescendo, each note complementing the emotional arc of the unfolding scene. The twins' eyes met Mark's with quiet authority, holding him accountable. Without a single uttered word, the camera captured every detail, the subtle shifts in posture, the slow exhalation of tension, the soft rustle of paper as Mark adjusted the envelope in his hands. Every sound amplified in the charged stillness. Emily's lips curved into a slight, knowing smile, the serene confidence radiating outward, the audience leaning forward, collectively holding their breath as the moment stretched. The light falling evenly across the trio, highlighting the small forms of the boys and the strong figure of their mother. Mark's voice finally emerged, low and uncertain, words faltering as he attempted to process the truth before him. The twins stepped forward in unison, reinforcing the evidence silently and effectively. Emily allowed the scene to unfold naturally, her presence a quiet beacon of control, dignity, and empowerment. The audience caught in the full impact of the revelation, the subtle glow of the overhead lights creating shadows that emphasized the contours of their expressions, every detail magnified for the cameras broadcasting the live event. Mark's hand gently rested on the envelope, fingers tightening slightly as the significance sank in. The twins, small faces radiating patience and silent judgment. Emily's calm breath and poised stance guiding the emotional resonance of the moment. The auditorium seemed to stretch and breathe with the unfolding drama, the soft crescendo of music underscoring the delicate balance between revelation, recognition, and the quiet triumph of truth, leaving a sense of anticipation lingering in the air as the audience absorbed the full weight of the scene, the story moving inexorably toward resolution while the immediate impact of discovery, acknowledgement, and emotional reckoning held the space in a moment of poignant suspense. The auditorium remained silent, the weight of the moment pressing against every spectator. Mark Henderson slowly lowering the envelope to his side, his expression a mixture of disbelief, awe, and deep reflection. The twins standing firmly beside Emily Johnson, their small hands still gripping the document that had upended years of denial. Emily's posture radiated calm authority, her shoulders squared and her head held high, the subtle glow of the overhead lights tracing the contours of her determined face. The audience leaning forward, the soft rustle of programs and quiet gasps filling the space, the gentle hum of cameras capturing each minute detail, the subtle swell of background music accentuating the tension and the emotional resonance of the scene. Mark's eyes shifted between Emily and the twins, the realization settling in with every heartbeat. The soft scrape of his polished shoes as he took a tentative step closer punctuated the charged silence. Emily allowed a faint, confident smile to form, controlled and steady, the twins stepping forward in unison, reinforcing the undeniable proof of their parentage, the stage lights catching the edges of the envelope as it moved slightly in their hands, the audience reacting with a mix of awe and whispered admiration. Mark's breath hitched, his pulse quickening, the weight of recognition and the long-delayed acknowledgement of truth pressing down on him, the soft click of camera shutters punctuating the tension, capturing the emotional nuance for the live broadcast. Emily's gaze remained fixed, silent, and commanding, radiating authority and patience, the twins' steady presence amplifying the impact of her unspoken assertion. The subtle rustle of the envelope and the soft exhalation of air combined to heighten the charged atmosphere. Every eye in the auditorium absorbed the tableau of revelation, the soft lighting casting shadows that enhanced the depth and gravity of each expression. Mark's hand finally reached forward, trembling slightly, hovering over the envelope before retreating as he processed the undeniable evidence. Emily's slight, serene smile reinforced the quiet triumph and calm power that had guided her through years of doubt. The twins' synchronized movements mirrored her control, their innocence and certainty amplifying the resonance of the moment. The audience leaning forward collectively, every subtle gasp, whisper, and shuffle contributing to the palpable energy. The light reflecting off polished floors, catching the boys' small faces and their mother's poised expression, the soft swell of the music accentuating the ebb and flow of tension and emotional impact. Mark's lips parted, his voice low and reflective, words halting as he attempted to articulate the profound weight of recognition and accountability. Emily remained composed, her breath measured and deliberate, her eyes unwavering in their silent declaration of truth. The twins held the envelope firmly. The document, a physical representation of years of patience and justice, the stage seemed to extend and contract with the intensity of the scene. The audience fully immersed, the soft glow of the spotlight creating a visual frame that highlighted every nuanced gesture and facial expression. Mark's chest rose and fell with deliberate breath, the enormity of realization pressing into his shoulders, the twins' presence a living testament to the undeniable reality before him. Emily's slight exhale carried both triumph and serenity, her posture commanding respect and acknowledgement. The subtle click of camera shutters and soft hum of background instruments underlined the continuing tension and quiet resolution. The scene held in suspended anticipation as every viewer, both in the auditorium and watching live, recognized the gravity of the moment, the silent power of presence, truth, and patience filling the space, leaving the story poised for the next emotional revelation while ensuring the weight of recognition and accountability resonated fully with all present. The light glinting off the envelope and the soft illumination on the twins' faces and Emily's commanding presence leaving an indelible mark of dignity, truth, and undeniable resolution. The audience absorbed every micro-expression and subtle movement, understanding that the unfolding events had shifted not only the narrative of the stage, but the emotional truth and recognition that would resonate long after the live feed ended. Mark Henderson stood motionless, the envelope in his hands serving as a tangible reminder of the years he had underestimated, disbelieved, and misjudged. The auditorium quiet except for the soft hum of cameras and the subtle rustle of audience members shifting in their seats. Emily Johnson remained poised, her eyes calm and unwavering, projecting a serene authority that contrasted sharply with the storm of emotions flickering across Mark's face. The twins, standing firm by her side, their small hands still clutching the envelope, radiated quiet confidence, their presence a living embodiment of patience, truth, and undeniable reality. The overhead lights illuminated their faces, catching the expressions of resolute innocence and quiet power. The audience leaning forward, every eye tracing each micro-expression, every subtle gesture, the gentle swell of background music heightening the emotional resonance. Mark exhaled slowly, his breath visible in the cool, conditioned air of the auditorium, the subtle tension in his shoulders betraying the enormity of realization. Emily's lips curved slightly, a controlled, knowing smile, her posture unchanged, shoulders squared, head held high. Commanding attention without a single word, the twins stepped in a synchronized movement, reinforcing the undeniable evidence of their parentage. The envelope positioned deliberately, a silent assertion of truth. The audience collectively holding their breath, the soft click of camera shutters, punctuating the charged stillness, capturing each fleeting expression, every small movement, every nuanced shift of emotion. Mark's gaze flickered between Emily and the twins, the recognition deepening with each heartbeat, the weight of past errors pressing visibly across his features, the soft scrape of his polished shoes as he took another cautious step forward, breaking the silence with a subtle auditory accent. Emily's eyes never leaving his, her presence commanding, radiating dignity and calm authority, the twins' small forms mirroring her composure, their steady gaze reinforcing the magnitude of the moment, the envelope's edges catching light, symbolizing the hard-won truth finally revealed, the audience reacting with a mixture of quiet awe and audible gasps, the soft swell of music and ambient murmurs combining to create an almost tangible wave of emotion. Mark's hand hovered over the envelope again, tentative, uncertain, his breath hitching slightly as the impact of acknowledgement pressed down upon him. Emily exhaled gently, a faint, measured sound that underscored her control and the quiet triumph of the moment. The twins' synchronized movement reinforcing the power of patience, the unspoken authority of presence, and the undeniable reality before him. The lights reflecting off polished floors, catching the subtle glimmer in the boys' eyes and the composed serenity of their mother. Every subtle detail magnified for both the live audience and viewers. Watching remotely, Mark's lips parted, voice low and faltering, attempting to articulate years of disbelief and the realization of truth. Emily's posture and calm gaze allowing the scene to convey the full emotional weight without words. The twins' presence a steadfast, living testament to patience and justice. The subtle rustle of paper as Mark adjusted the envelope punctuating the charged atmosphere. The stage stretching to accommodate the full gravity of revelation, every camera capturing the delicate interplay of recognition, acknowledgement, and emotional resonance. The soft illumination from above creating a visual frame that accentuated the nuanced expressions of all three figures, the audience. Completely absorbed, sensing the transformative impact of truth unfolding in real time. Emily's controlled exhale, slight smile, and unwavering poise reinforcing the quiet victory of patience and resilience. The twins' steady, deliberate actions reinforcing the undeniable reality. The stage a tableau of dignity, truth, and quiet authority. Every microexpression, every shift in posture, every breath magnified. The soft crescendo of music underscoring the balance of tension and resolution, leaving the auditorium charged with reflection, anticipation, and the weight of recognition. A moment poised between revelation and the acknowledgement of what has been endured, the impact stretching beyond the immediate scene, resonating deeply with both those present and the many viewers witnessing the moment unfold in real time. Emily Johnson took a deliberate step back, allowing the twins to stand fully in the center of the stage, their small hands steady on the envelope that had carried years of hidden truth. Mark Henderson's eyes darted between the boys and their mother, the weight of recognition settling deep into his shoulders, the auditorium a quiet sea of anticipation, the soft rustle of programs and the low hum of cameras amplifying every subtle movement. Emily's posture unwavering, head held high, shoulders squared, radiating a quiet authority that commanded attention without a word. The twins' synchronized movements emphasized the undeniable proof of their parentage, their small faces reflecting both innocence and unspoken conviction, the overhead lights casting a warm glow that highlighted every contour of the stage and every nuanced expression, the audience collectively leaning forward, the air thick with tension and anticipation, the soft swell of music rising gently, complementing the unspoken emotional resonance. Mark exhaled slowly, his chest rising and falling with measured breaths, his polished shoes scraping softly against the gleaming floor as he took a tentative step closer, the envelope shifting slightly in the twins' hands, reinforcing the power of silent affirmation. Emily allowed a faint, controlled smile to form, a quiet acknowledgement of patience, endurance, and triumph, the audience responding with hushed murmurs and subtle gasps. Every camera capturing the nuanced interplay of recognition, authority, and the revelation of truth. Mark's lips parted, voice low and faltering, struggling to articulate the enormity of years of disbelief and the immediate realization of undeniable reality. The twins remained steadfast, their small eyes locked on him, reinforcing the accountability that no words could fully express. Emily's serene gaze and poised stance conveyed calm power, her slight exhale punctuating the quiet triumph that filled the stage, the soft rustle of the envelope, the faint creak of floorboards, and the gentle swell of music combining to heighten the tension and the emotional resonance. The audience completely absorbed, every microexpression, subtle gesture, and nuanced shift in posture magnified. The soft illumination tracing the contours of Emily's face, the twins' small, firm forms, and the gradual transformation. In Mark's expression, the realization deepening with every heartbeat, the stage stretching to accommodate the full gravity of revelation, the light catching the envelope and the boy's steady grip, symbolizing the hard-won truth finally laid bare. Mark's hand trembled slightly as he reached for the envelope, the soft sound punctuating the charged stillness. Emily exhaled gently, a measured, controlled motion that reinforced the quiet victory of dignity and patience. The twins' movements synchronized, their presence amplifying the power of truth and the silent assertion of justice. The audience leaning forward, fully engaged, every gasp, whisper, and subtle movement adding to the palpable energy, the soft glow of the spotlight creating a visual frame that accentuated the expressions of awe, realization, and respect. Mark's chest rose and fell slowly, his pulse quickening as the reality settled. The twins standing firm, a living testament to the undeniable truth, Emily's calm and unwavering posture guiding the emotional resonance. The auditorium breathing with the moment, the soft swell of music underlining the delicate balance between tension and acknowledgement, the story unfolding in real time. Every detail captured for viewers both present and remote. The subtle light highlighting the depth of every expression, the gentle click of camera shutters punctuating the intensity. And as Mark finally lowered his gaze to the envelope, a faint sense of acceptance appearing in his eyes, Emily's lips curved into a serene smile, the twins' small faces radiating calm certainty. The audience absorbing the full impact of the revelation, the stage a tableau of patience, truth, and undeniable authority. The moment suspended in time, every breath, every glance, every measured movement resonating with dignity and quiet triumph, leaving the emotional weight of acknowledgement and accountability fully realized across the hall. The auditorium held its collective breath as Emily Johnson allowed the twins to take a small, synchronized step forward, their hands still gripping the DNA envelope, the soft glow of the spotlight catching their determined expressions, the air thick with the weight of revelation. Mark Henderson stood frozen, his polished shoes making the faintest scrape against the gleaming wooden floor as he shifted slightly. The truth of the moment settling heavily on his shoulders, Emily's posture remained impeccable, her shoulders squared, her chin lifted, projecting calm authority that radiated through the hall, the twins' eyes never leaving his, a silent assertion of undeniable reality, the subtle hum of cameras and whispered reactions from the audience filling the space, every click of a shutter punctuating the tension, the gentle swell of music rising to underscore the emotional weight. Mark's breath came slowly, measured, his chest rising and falling as he attempted to process the years of denial confronted so suddenly and completely. The twins mirrored their mother's composure, their small forms of visual testament to patience, resilience, and truth. Emily allowed a faint, controlled smile to form, an acknowledgement of quiet triumph. The audience leaning forward collectively, the soft rustle of programs and hushed murmurs adding texture to the charged atmosphere. Mark's hand trembled slightly as he reached toward the envelope, hesitating, the soft sound echoing through the auditorium. Emily's gaze unwavering, her calm eyes fixed on him, communicating authority, dignity, and the weight of the undeniable. The twins stepped slightly in unison, reinforcing the reality he had ignored for so long. The subtle light catching the envelope and their determined grip, the audience's attention rapt. Every micro-expression and gesture captured for the live feed, and the cameras recording every nuance. The stage seemed to expand under the gravity of the revelation, the soft illumination highlighting Emily's serene composure and the twins' resolute stance. The music continuing its gentle rise and fall, complementing the emotional resonance. Mark's lips parted, his voice low and uncertain as he attempted to articulate acknowledgement and regret, the twins' small faces reflecting calm assurance, holding him accountable silently. Emily's shoulders remained squared, her measured exhale punctuating the quiet power and control of the moment, the envelope's edges catching light with every slight movement, reinforcing the undeniable truth. The audience collectively reacting with a mixture of gasps, murmurs, and subtle applause. The soft click of camera shutters punctuating the charged atmosphere. Every gesture, every glance magnified and held for viewers both present and remote. Mark's chest rising and falling as the weight of recognition pressed into him. The twins' presence a living testament to the authority of patience and unspoken proof. Emily's composed expression guiding the emotional resonance, the gentle swell of music underscoring the balance of tension, acknowledgement, and triumph. The subtle rustle of paper as Mark adjusted the envelope punctuating the stillness, the soft light creating shadows that accentuated the depth of expression on each face, the audience fully absorbed, every individual registering the gravity of truth and recognition unfolding before them. The twins' synchronized movements reinforcing the clarity of reality, Emily's slight, controlled smile radiating serene authority, the soft illumination tracing her features and those of the children, the auditorium suspended in the moment, the delicate interplay of tension, revelation, and quiet triumph resonating through every corner of the hall. The cameras capturing each nuanced detail, the click of shutters and faint hum of recording equipment punctuating the charged silence. The stage a tableau of dignity, patience, undeniable truth, and quiet authority, leaving the audience captivated. The weight of recognition and emotional resonance lingering in the air as the scene held its suspended, poignant power. The spotlight softened as Emily Johnson allowed the twins to step slightly forward, their small hands still clutching the dinner envelope with deliberate care, the audience leaning in, every eye fixed on the trio, the hum of whispered conversations and camera clicks blending into a tense, electric atmosphere. Mark Henderson's shoulders hunched slightly, the weight of recognition pressing down on him with every heartbeat. His polished shoes shifting softly against the wooden floor as he took a careful step closer, the envelope trembling slightly in the boy's hands, a tangible symbol of truth. Emily remained poised, her shoulders squared, chin lifted, exuding calm authority that filled the hall and resonated through the live broadcast. The twins' synchronized movements reinforcing the undeniable proof of their parentage, their eyes mirroring their mother's composure and silent determination. The soft glow of overhead lights catching the edges of the envelope, highlighting the moment of revelation. The audience gasps and murmurs rising in waves, punctuated by the subtle swell of background music that underscored the emotional resonance. Mark's breath came slowly, deliberate, each inhale and exhale carrying the gravity of years of denial now confronted. Emily's faint smile held steady, controlled, an acknowledgement of triumph that did not need words. The twins stood unwavering, their small forms of visual testament to patience, endurance, and truth, the audience absorbing the quiet yet powerful assertion of authority, every camera capturing the nuanced expressions, subtle gestures, and micro-movements that conveyed the weight of the moment, the envelope shifting slightly as Mark reached toward it, hesitation etched across his features, Emily's gaze never faltering, projecting a serene power that communicated dignity and unwavering presence. The twins' coordinated step forward reinforcing the undeniable reality before him, the soft light glinting off the edges of the envelope and the children's faces, the stage transforming into a tableau of patience, truth, and silent assertion, the audience completely absorbed, murmurs, gasps, and subtle applause punctuating the atmosphere, the gentle swell of music rising and falling with the tension. Mark's lips parted, low and uncertain, his voice faltering as he tried to articulate the weight of realization and acknowledgement. The twins' eyes met his, silent and unwavering, reinforcing accountability and undeniable truth. Emily's posture remained impeccable, breath measured and calm, radiating the quiet triumph of patience and unshakable authority. The subtle rustle of paper as Mark adjusted the envelope punctuating the charged stillness, the soft illumination accentuating every facial expression, gesture, and posture shift, the audience caught in the full impact of the moment. The twins' synchronized movement emphasizing the certainty and authority of truth, Emily's faint exhale signaling quiet release and triumph, the light tracing the contours of the mother and children, highlighting the depth of emotion and the magnitude of recognition unfolding. Every camera capturing the scene for both present viewers and the live audience. Beyond the auditorium, Mark's chest rose and fell with deliberate breaths, absorbing the undeniable reality. The twins' presence a living testament to patience, resilience, and the quiet assertion of truth. Emily's calm gaze and composed posture guiding the emotional resonance of the scene, the soft swell of music underscoring the delicate balance between tension and acknowledgement, the gentle rustle of the envelope and the subtle ambient sounds combining to amplify the emotional weight. The stage a tableau of dignity, truth, and undeniable authority, leaving the audience captivated and the moment suspended with poignant impact, the realization, acknowledgement, and emotional resonance of the scene. Lingering long after the lights dimmed and the stage quieted, the quiet triumph of presence, patience, and truth etched indelibly into every witness. The soft illumination and synchronized movement creating a final frame of enduring power, leaving the audience and viewers fully aware of the magnitude and significance of the revelation.